Well, it's basically finished now. Give it a touch of spray paint. I don't want to use brush paint on here because I'm going to take a little while to bed it in so that it slides again nicely. I found that people sometimes use oil. It's totally the wrong thing to use. If you're putting it on wood, it's going to gung up. It's going to get a sticky paste. If you want it to slide easier, use graphite. You can get it from a good key specialist, but that should do the trick. Let's see how this rolls now. Yeah, that's pretty smooth. I mean, I've only got to get it to move left and right by about 1 inch, so that's okay. There are a couple of things that I'm not too sure on. I've got tiny little gaps here and here on the corners, and I suspect they're probably going to let light in, so I'm going to have to check it out with the old torch. Yeah, you can see it is coming through in the corners. I suspected as much, so I need to fill them. That's a very tiny one, but it's there. I need to put some paste in there to block that off. Yes, there are little holes in the corners, so let's I'm going to use just ordinary adhesive. This is no nails. I'll get it into the corners inside, and then I'll do the same on the outside, and that should do it. Try the old torch trick again. No light leaks, it's good to go. I don't know if you can see that, but you see that small white blob there? That's how I know that I've shoved the paste from the inside, and that's the hole there, and the others are the same. You can just see it coming through, so I know I've got it. Paint it with black a couple of times, should be okay. I've always been a bit of a belt and braces man, so I've gone round the outside as well, although I saw it actually coming through from the inside. Just trying to tidy it up. I like the aesthetics of something as well as the practicality of it. Here's a bit of a tip. I need these to be fixed onto the body, yes, but I don't need it to pull down. I want this part of the screw to go into the wood, not the whole sleeve of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drill out the size, there we go, the size of the thing itself, and you can see it just pushes in. That's what I need to do. It's only the tip piece I need to screw into the wood. Okay, so let's put the pinhole apertures in. I'm going to make several different sizes. My original idea was to use a small washer, which I know fits in there quite tightly where we've drilled out, and then I was going to stick these onto using this glue. It's called a metal weld, but basically it's 2 parts. It takes quite some time to go off. Usually things like epoxy resin, they give you minutes to work with. This will give you 10 or 15 minutes to make it so you can manipulate it. The unfortunate thing is it won't stick to the back of the can. It comes away. So another rethink. So I thought, well, basically if I cut out the small back plate for the pinhole apertures, put that inside. These, I made them reasonably tight, so if I put that in there, that should hold firm. Yeah, that's holding firm. Well, not that firm. I like the fact that you can see the red, you know that it's open. So if I put this on the back, that's going to hold that in place, and then I can put a bit of tape inside. That's going to stop it from falling out. It may do while you take it from place to place when you're taking photographs. But there we go. So all I need to do now is to make several more of these and then drill out different size pinholes. Most things are serendipitous. You start off inventing things and then just by accident. I got to thinking, if I put film in this, then this isn't very secure. That will probably open as I'm driving along or just putting it in a bag. It'll come open. So I suddenly thought, well, why don't I put an elastic band on here while it's shut, and hopefully that will hold. So that's going to stop it from opening. It's still not very secure. Then I suddenly thought, well, what it needs to do is to get another anchor point. So basically all I did was bring it round and put it on this side. And then I discovered that basically when you take the picture, if I push that open to take the picture, it automatically springs back. Depending on the size and the strength of the actual elastic bands I'm going to use, I've suddenly now discovered that I've got a spring mechanism for opening and closing it. There we go. Experiment with the elastic bands to see which is going to be the best size wise. But there you go. So basically it's almost ready to go. Okay, I decided I'd give the back a little bit of touch up. I mean, it's covered in an artificial leather, and over time it's got scuffed and just rubs through. I don't need to paint it literally. All I want to do is scrub in a few of the areas just to bring them back to black. I've cleaned it with methylated spirits first. The reason methylated spirits evaporates, you use something like white spirit, turpentine, leaves a greasy film behind. It's the last thing you want to do if you want to paint something. So yeah, a bit of methylated spirits. I don't want to touch up any of the metal pieces because that's going to rub off anyway, but I just lightly want to go over the corners that have got scuffed through time. I know the purists are going to think, look what the hell he's up to now. He's ruining it. Excuse me, I bought it, I can keep it, I want it to look nice when it sits on the shelf. I'm not selling it on to you. I want to make sure that my camera, even at this late stage, is light tight. So by just putting a torch at the back there, let's have a look, turn off the light and put it right up to inside the camera. It's not leaking anywhere, and you're looking at the reflection at the sides coming off of the baseboard, but let's open it close. Fine, it works. I'm quite happy with that. I've had a rethink on the pinhole. I've had an experiment and it seems to work, so I thought I'd show you what I did. Basically, use this as a template, draw around it and cut it. But I found they were too tight. So what I then did is I got a foreign coin. Now this foreign coin just happens to be that little bit smaller, so it allows me to put a line around it. So if I use that to mark round it, so that's given me a cutting line now. I don't know if you can see that, it's quite fine line, but that's given me a cutting line. And just cut it with an old pair of scissors. It's not that stiff. So just take a time and go around it. So just use an ordinary air modelling kit, you know, just ordinary cheap glue. Try to keep it away from the centre because you don't want it creeping into where you're going to put your pinhole. But basically that should do it. So if I then put that on top, and this being a contact glue, what I need to do then, once I've got that glued on both sides, it sounds crazy, but take it apart and let that dry for a few minutes. Then when you put it back together, it'll hold secure. Sometimes, a couple I did before, I just got that away from the middle because I didn't want it impeding my shutter when I come to put it together. So that should be enough to just hold it now. And as you can see, that's just coming to the edge. That'll do it. Don't apply a lot of pressure, but put something on it for a minute just to stop it from curling up at the edges. Right, that's it, finished. It turned out a lot better than I thought, actually. I think that's the thing with experimentation. Have a go, make a pinhole yourself. It's so simple. If you liked it, give us a tick. If you want to see more, subscribe, because the next film is going to be, I'm going to make a dark room that I can use outside. In other words, when I go on site somewhere, I can actually do my developing and printing there and have a look at it straight away, rather than wait to get home and see how it went. So, see you soon. Keep smiling.